To begin with online discussions today, uh, today is 8th of Pharma online discussion we have that will be live on the Facebook and YouTube. And in today's 8th Facebook and YouTube live webinar, we have pharma experts from sales, marketing, academic fields, uh, Mr. Rakesh Maitre, Mr. Amin Roy, and Mr. Vinod Vaswani. Also, the renowned personality in L&D and sales and marketing, Mr. Ashwin Mishra, as a moderator. Welcome to all for the LPC 8 online discussion. In a short, that I will brief about the Ashwant. Ashwant, he is currently the director of L&D at the Ascendex Learning Solution. Performance consultant having the 25 years experience in the pharma sales and training organizations like the Abbott, Healthcare, Cipla, Torrent, Ocard, Unichem Laboratories. Educations, this is the PG DHRM from the NMIMS, Diploma in Training and the Development from the ISTD, Certificate Psychometric Assessors and the Competence Developers. Now over to Mr. Ashwin Mishra, sir.
Thank you very much, Raman. Thank you very much for the nice introduction. Good morning, everyone. As today is Guru Purnima, I want to start with one very good slogan: Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah. You all will agree with me that on Sunday morning, you all are joining Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube because you want to learn something, right? Every one of us are learning something from everyone. Although parents are said as the first guru of the children, our teachers are our guru, but each and every person who comes across our life, he gives some knowledge. So everyone who is giving knowledge to you is a guru. And in today's context, we can say the Vishnu Guru is COVID-19, because we are learning because of this COVID-19 crisis, entire world, we are learning something, right? A lot of things we are learning, the human relationship we are learning the way of life. So the Vishnu Guru is COVID-19. Coincidentally, today in Life Pharma Coalition, we have also brought some gurus of pharma industry, and all from diverse background. One guru from business background, one guru from marketing background, and one guru from training background. So today is training guru. You can say he is actually a guru of the pharma people. Vinod Vaswani. Hey, Vinod sir, what are the things you are going to share?
Thank you, Mr. Yashwant. First of all, I should appreciate this platform, Live Pharma Coalition platform. This is a platform which not only gives a lot of learning, but also an opportunity. So I'm thankful to Raman and Yashwant, to you, especially Raman, for giving me this opportunity to speak on today, which is Guru Purnima, and got an opportunity to, as you know, this is an era of COVID, where we are sitting at home, and even though we have started working, doctors are very reluctant, or when we talk about other professions going and meeting, it's totally chaos, sort of insecurity in the mind, how we should go about. So something on motivation. What are the ways we can motivate? Motivation we know as a word, but how we can motivate self in this COVID era? So what are the theories behind those? I will touch upon that also, and some practical aspects of motivation, especially in this COVID era. So once again, thank you, Live Pharma Coalition.
Great. Thank you very much. We all will be looking forward to be motivated, definitely. And all across people, they need some motivation and inspiration. Okay. So that
I worked in this industry for 24 years, started my career as a medical representative, got an opportunity for cross-functional movement. I moved into training. I have 10 years experience in sales and 14 years in training. Started my career as a zonal trainer in Nicholas Piramal, and now working after Nicholas Piramal, as rightly said by Yashwant, in Glenmark, Renbaxy, Sun Pharma, currently with Lupin. And a lot of learning at this stage also. So I'm sure this presentation which I'm going to take, it is on motivation. Motivation, as Rakesh ji has already added a lot of words which are there in terms of how in this COVID era you can achieve your goals. So when I come to this word called motivation, the motivation word stands for motive. And when you understand this motive, you know it talks about the desire. What is the need? So the basic process of motivation is first identifying the desire, unsatisfied need, and then you drive towards the goal. And once you achieve the goal, then you set the next goal. So motivation itself, it's always said that nobody can motivate an individual. What you can get as an individual is an inspiration. Motivation always is a dynamic process which originates from within. So it is coming from within, and it needs to be inner force which moves or activates an individual into action. So here when we talk about motivation, there are different theories of motivation. One of the most fundamental theory which is on motivation, just to take you on this Maslow's theory of hierarchy, and especially those who are in the pharma profession, they are aware of this, and came by Ibrahim Maslow in 1943. In this theory, he talked about different needs which are there. As we know, there are physiological needs, safety needs, social needs, esteem needs, and self-actualization. So talking about the physiological needs, these are the basic needs in terms of water, clothing, food. Safety needs in terms of the security. That is in this COVID era, as you know, job security is one of the aspects which is there. And in terms of the social needs is belonging, where you can interact with the social group. Esteem needs is the need for power and status. Self-actualization is talked about, where it is one of the best form of your individual you become. So when he talked about the need hierarchy, he said lower needs need to be satisfied first. If you have to move into this hierarchy, first you need to satisfy physiology, safety needs, then you can move into the other needs which are your esteem needs and self-actualization. So lower needs must be satisfied before higher needs become motivator. So need is no longer, once the need is satisfied, it no longer motivates the individual. So it is almost theory which is talking on motivation, which is a Herzberg theory. Maslow's theory and Herzberg theory, these two theories are most importantly being followed. One of the reason is because they talk on the need based. Two-factor theory, which is there of Herzberg, it talks about two-factor. Herzberg came with this theory somewhere in 1959. When he came with this theory, he did a survey in a company where there were around 200 employees, and he found there are two factors which are responsible for motivation. One is the hygiene factor, and second is the motivator. So hygiene factor, when he found, it is in terms of the context of job, salary, interpersonal relationship, working condition. But the motivator, it is getting a meaningful job. So a person who has a job, same kind of job, if he is not getting a meaningful job, he may not be a motivated. He may have only the hygiene factor. Fulfilling work or achievement, recognition, these are the motivator which he found, Herzberg, in his theory. And this is a two-factor theory which talks about motivation. So when we talk about, there is a similarity between Maslow and Herzberg theory. Both these theory, the similarity is when we talk about the basic needs which are there, basic physiological needs, safety and security needs, and belonging and love needs. These are the needs which are in the lower needs. Once they are satisfied, this Maslow, which says you can move into the higher needs, which is esteem and self-actualization. So here you can see with the similarity between the Maslow's and Herzberg, it is hygiene factor in the Maslow stand for basic physiology needs, safety and security, belonging and love. And when it talks about the motivation factor, it is the esteem need and self-actualization. So today, as Rakesh ji has already added a lot of things in terms of how you can achieve your goal. But foremost important is, before we achieve our goal, we should understand first what is the goal for me, or what is the motivation for me. So Maslow's and Herzberg theory, these are the two theories which talk about the need of an individual. And as you know, adversity is an opportunity to do little more than necessary. So especially in this COVID era, when we have adversity which is there, everybody talks about the negative aspect. Rakesh ji also talked, whether you selection, when you are choosing between positive and negative, if you have, you always should go for positive things in mind. So adversity, we can take this as an opportunity. And most important, once you want to achieve or get motivated, the first step in motivation is goal setting. There is a separate theory, in fact, on goal setting also by Edwin. This goal setting theory talks about you have to have a process so that you can achieve your ideal future. Process of thinking, powerful. So goal, he said, should be specific. Specific stands for S when we are SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. So these are the SMART goals which was talked by Edwin in his goal setting theory. In this theory, he said that if you want the goal to be achieved, it should be first is SMART goal, second is in terms of challenging goal. If a goal is not challenging, you will not feel like achieving that. So setting a goal which is a challenging goal, and it should not be too challenging also. For first and foremost is writing down the goal. You have to write it down, pen it down, your goal. What is the importance of writing your goal? When you write your goal, you have to visualize them. These goals will make you remember or remind you on a regular basis that you need to achieve them, and make a deadline so that goal otherwise will become like a dream if you don't have a deadline for the goal. So ways to remain motivated is always have a goals which are small bite-sized goals. Don't create a big goals which are there. When you create a big goals and you create more number of smaller goals, it will help you in terms of once you are achieving those goals, it will create a positive aura inside you and you can set more goals and achieve them. So always be passionate and optimistic. Surround yourself with like-minded people when you are setting your goal. Setting a goal is a first important parameter in terms of getting motivated. It is like when you go to a particular station and you don't tell the destination where you want to go. The person who is giving you the ticket, he will ask you where you want to go. If you don't tell him the destination, then you may not land up where you want to go. So always first setting the goal, and goal should be small, bite size, passionate about them. As the saying goes, life's battle do not always go to the stronger or faster man, but sooner or later, the man who wins is the man who thinks. So one step is in motivation when I identify the need and set my goal is I should work on achieving the goal. Which is the difficult part in achieving the goal is the most importantly, if I want to achieve the goal, is to work on the mindset. So how do you work on the mindset? There is a famous quote which I put it across from Shiv Khera. Shiv Khera says, success is not an accident. It is a result of attitude, and your attitude is your choice. Hence, success is a matter of choice, not chance. If you want to achieve anything in life, first is you should have attitude, and attitude talks about the thinking process. Now, if I want to influence my thinking process, it is again, how do I influence the thinking process? Here, there are three important aspects where an individual can work on to improve on his thinking process. First is education. So as rightly covered, in fact, in the presentation of Rakesh ji, education, what kind of books I read. So when I get or read this book, this COVID era is an opportunity for me to update on knowledge. And even Aminji talked about medical representative today have knowledge. So once I update on the knowledge which is required for me to apply in the doctor's clinic, or the knowledge which will help me or motivate me to achieve my goal. So success is always attitude. The first thing which Shiv Khera says, if you want to influence your attitude, is education. Read the right kind of book. Secondly, he talks about environment. You select the environment. What kind of environment you want to be. Those who will always say that you can achieve this goal, or there are people who will never or maybe are discouraging you that you cannot achieve these kinds of goals. So when you are setting a goal, select an environment. It plays a very important role. And the third part after environment and education is in terms of experience. And this is one such platform where you can learn about the experiences, different individuals. I really appreciate Raman and our Rashwan starting this platform where you get not only learning in terms of updating your knowledge, but also learning from the experiences of the individual. So this is before I come to an end of my presentation, which is on motivation. As you know, motivation, the first step in motivation is having a goal in mind. And when you say a goal or purpose in life, and then achieving that purpose with the right kind of attitude, where you read books which are there, which will help you in terms of updating your knowledge. You select the environment, which is right environment, positive environment, and you get experiences. Experiences, as rightly said, is a collection of learnings from the failure. So you will fail in certain goals, you will be able to achieve certain goals, you may not be able to achieve. But more and more you set the goals and experience, over a period of time, you will be achieving majority of the goal. There is one gentleman which I would like to show you in this audio visual. This gentleman is Nick Voyages. He's an Australian. His name is Nick Voyages or Nicholas Voyages. He's a 37-year individual. This individual was born with a defect where he has a genetic defect where he doesn't have arms and legs. So this individual without arms and legs, one of the most adverse condition which is given to by, I should say, God by to that individual, without arms and legs, and he had only one small foot. With that small foot, which he calls a little drumstick, he is able to achieve many things in his life. He keeps on setting different goals, and I'm sure with this audio visual, you will definitely understand that as a human being, we have immense potential, and if we have a right kind of attitude, we can achieve this potential. And this gentleman, Nick Voyages, is a powerful motivational speaker. He has written a lot of books also. No hands, no legs, no worries. And there are certain more motivational books which is there, Unstoppable. So he's an Australian motivational speaker. I'm sure this audio visual will give you a lot of learnings. So let's see this audio visual. Yashwant, sound is audible?
Visible, sound is not coming.
Just a second.
You can do full screen, I think.
Yeah.
To others.
Yes, coming.
And the
coming.
actually,
Just a second.
Very good. Yes.
when you're in school, when you're growing up in life, it actually sort of matters to people how you look. And then it matters to you because it matters to others. And the fear that we have is that we're going to be alone, that we're not good enough. And, you know, we have to change ourselves. And, you know, so many people put me down and say, Nick, you look too weird and no one's really your friend and you can't do this and you can't do that. And I couldn't change anything. It's not like just fixing my hair one day and everything's fine. I couldn't change my circumstance. I couldn't just one day wake up and say, hey, give me arms and legs. I need arms and legs. It was so hard because people put me down. And I started believing that I was not good enough. I started believing that I was a failure, that I'll never ever be somebody who people would like or people would accept. And it was so hard, man. I thought to myself, I can't go on the soccer field like everybody else, and I can't ride my bike, and I can't skateboard, and all these sort of things. And I started getting depressed. I thought, what kind of purpose do I have to live? I mean, are you just here to live to die? I mean, is there not a purpose for me? Is there not a purpose in life? And I had questions and no answers. And I asked my mom and dad, why did this happen? I asked doctors, why did this happen? They don't know. There are some things in life that are out of your control that you can't change and you got to live with. The choice that we have, though, is either to give up or keep on going. I want to ask you, what are you going to believe? Are you going to believe in yourself? Are you going to believe everybody else's judgment on you? How did I get from depressed to who I am today? Because I tell you, I was depressed. When I was age 8, I used to concentrate on the things I didn't have. I wish I had arms and legs, and I wish I could do this, but what can I do? You see, I have a choice. I can either be angry for not having arms and legs or be thankful for my chicken drumstick. And I'm traveling around the world. It's amazing. But I had to ask myself a couple questions. And the first question was really, who am I? Who am I? I'm Nick Vujicic, but who is that? Because there's nothing good about having no limbs. But I love my life. Do you want to know why? Because I've seen the purpose. When you see me for the first time, many of you felt sorry for me. Do you feel sorry for me anymore? No. Why? Because you know who I am. But don't you remember I have no arms and no legs? Would you want to be my friend?
So this is what Nick Voyages wants to say life is full of experiences if only we can give a try. So this is what the message, the individual who has one of the most adverse condition, and these adversity will last throughout his life. This gentleman has no arms, this gentleman has no legs, but whatever has been gifted to him, he uses that in the positive mind, and working on his mind positivity, he could go for achieving many tasks which he has set, whether swimming, playing football, playing golf. He goes to different colleges as a motivational speaker. So selecting these kinds of environment experiences and setting goal, definitely any adversity which we come across can be overcome. So thank you very much. Here I will again request Yashwant if any questions are there.
Thank you very much, Vinod. Really inspiring. The video was really wonderful. And the way you have explained the conceptual part of motivation from Maslow's theory to Heisenberg theory, and then in the real life, how a person can motivate himself is really very good. We learned a lot, and really it is inspiring. And the best part is you have maintained the time, very crisp communication and to the point. So let me take some of the questions. Before that, a quick recap of what are the things you have covered. So you have covered psychological motivation is a psychological process which unsatisfied wants and needs move toward the fulfillment. And then motivation is a driving force, right, which originates from within. So no one can motivate each other. We can inspire people to be motivated. That is a wonderful learning for us. Maslow's theory and then Heisenberg theory are wonderfully have explained. And the last point what you have given is really very good. That is the key point. What we can do is setting goals, smart goals, specific, measurable, achievable, and time-bound goals. Not only that, we should keep a small bite-sized goal. Do a small commitment to yourself and fulfill that commitment so that you build confidence in yourself. And we should be passionate about and also optimistic. Last but not least, what you told is we should surround ourselves with the like-minded people, right? We should surround ourselves with the positive people, like-minded people. Your environment reflects your thought. That is a wonderful learning, really. So one question.
I really appreciate Yashwant, the way you have summarized the learning.
That is the learning. That is the learning.
Thank you very much.
I am getting learning from each session. So the question here, which I got from chat box is a simple pharma guy who is not able to get a call today. There is a pressure from company to produce result, and then he is not able to get call. Lot of difficulties is facing the field. How he can keep himself motivated? Some 2-3 tips if you can give him. Be very relevant for our audience. Some
very good question. I should say very good question. Today the kind of scenario is for the medical rep. I have worked as a medical rep for 7 years, and medical rep there is a lot of learning. That is a medical representative. So as you rightly said, in this era, which is where you don't get to meet doctors are not giving time. And sometimes what happens is certain areas the medical rep don't get an opportunity to go out. Even we have started working in most of the territories. So here adversity is an opportunity. It is like, I will share one story here. There were 2 individuals in the hospital admitted, and they had a window in front of them, and they used to look outside the window. So one individual was getting, I should say, he was improving in his condition. Second individual was deteriorating. So when the doctor came and asked the individual who was deteriorating, he said, doctor asked him, how you spend the time? He said, I look outside the window and see a dirty wall. There is a dirty wall which I look outside the window, and that is the reason I see that wall, I feel very depressed. And that is what his health was also deteriorating. Then the second individual who went, who was improving in the health. So when the doctor asked him, what do you do? How you spend your time? He said, I also go outside this, see outside this window, and there is a dirty wall. There's a dirty wall which I see outside the window. In front of that dirty wall, there are beautiful flowers. So there are beautiful flowers which are there in front of that wall, dirty. I see that flowers. So that flowers really give me a good kind of feeling inside my body. So what do you look at decides your goals, also decides how you achieve. So will you see the dirty wall or you see the flowers? You can update your knowledge. You can work on your communication. Today, there have been opportunities where telecall is taking up in a big way. So you can improve your communication skills going through this. This is one such platform where a lot of you are doing a great job, Yashwant. You are creating a platform where a lot of pharma guys, even those who want to aspire and become a pharma individual, they are learning a lot from this platform. So these are the ways where you can update yourself.
Thank you very much. Really, really inspiring. Just before closing it and getting final message from every panelist, let me mention some of the participants who have shared a very good learning. Mr. Nitin Khagalkar, who is also a very good friend of mine, he has shared a very good thing about the goal setting, having noble purpose and working for it every day is powerful motivator. That is what he has shared. Thank you very much, Nitin sir. And there are some good appreciation from Manju Paranjape, Brijraj Singh Gohil, Devdutt Kaushal is there. He has appreciated a lot about
Nitin, if he is listening, I'll say hi to him. In fact, he was a senior to me when I was a medical rep. So I have learned a lot of things from that gentleman.
Then Sohil Chandani, Sudeep Bhaumik also is on there. He has told about goal. He has liked that. Then Sumit Bhattacharya sir, he is our previous speaker, and Sushil Barkur, he is also our previous speaker. He is also watching. Thank you very much, Sushil sir. Your message is an inspiration for us. Thank you very much, everyone. We really enjoyed each and every session.